Playing tilted. This gets expensive. Welcome to Bonesaw Poker. I'm Brad. Time for play and chat. Let's go. Tilt, the ultimate money burner. So, what is tilt? We're going to let this one go. Tilt is, according to Tommy Angelo, tilt is any deviation from your A game and your A mindset, however slight or fleeting. Now, that's a pretty broad definition. I guess we'll check that. And we flopped a pair. We'll have to appeal one. Okay, well, now we have a pair and an open-ender. See how bad he wants to keep playing. Let that go. We're going to fold the 6-3. So, basically saying is any time that you're not playing your optimal game, you're playing on tilt. Now, there's hard tilt and soft tilt. What's the difference? So, hard tilt is emotional. Soft tilt is suboptimal, where you're tired, you played too long, you're hungry, and all you can think about is getting something to eat, and you're not focusing on your table. Things like that, where it's not emotional, but it's something that's going on that's affecting your play in a negative way. Now, hard tilt that's really the one that really burns money, because when it's emotional, people start sticking money in spots that they really shouldn't, or start jamming. And really, one of the first signs that you're tilted is you start playing hands in spots you normally wouldn't. All of a sudden, that 10-8 suited under the gun in a 9-handed game, you're playing that you normally wouldn't. So that's one of the first signs. And the other one is just checking in with yourself and what your emotions are in the moment. So to understand tilt and how to combat it, one of the things about tilt is to understand that you're tilted because you're losing and you're just not too thrilled about it. So, but the thing to understand, we're going to play this and get out of the $2 table. I just brought that up because there's not much to play this morning. Okay, so we're back. One of the things to understand is if fish didn't get lucky, there would be no money in poker. If you compare it to chess, in chess, there's no getting lucky. We're just going to check this just because we just got here. There's no just getting lucky in chess when you're playing at a competitive level. Okay, so we have 2 overs and the gut shot. Let's put some money in. Start building a pot, or just get rid of them and move along. Either one. So in chess, if somebody's better than you, like considerably better than you, you're never going to beat them. I'm not going to play Magnus Carlsen and all of a sudden I'm going to luck into it. It's not going to happen. But you could sit at a table with a pro, get it in bad, and river a guy. All right, we got queens here, so we're going to have to 3-bet this because we're out of position and we want to keep the big blind from playing. Okay, that worked out. I'll show him one. So, and there's a strategy behind that. I'm not going to get into it in this video. So, understanding that if people didn't get lucky, because the players that don't have a positive win rate, if they're just getting crushed constantly, they'd never come back. And there goes your money. There goes your profit. Your profit isn't really from the other really good players. You can battle with them and try to get some money, but really the profit comes from the players with that aren't winning, basically, that don't have a positive win rate. And another thing to understand is in poker, everything has to happen. It's a math game. This we will 3-bet because I don't want to. Okay, or we'll raise it up. Now, I won't call a 3-bet from him, but I will call 3-bet from the blinds. Yeah, I will call 3-bet from him. Usually, king 6, we're going to raise that. We're out of position without a suited ace or a pocket pair. But I'm going to call it, this is close. We're liking life. We're going to fold over here. We don't have anything. We're going to play in flow, and we'll check raise on the turn. All right, ace queen just got there. Queen 9 just got there. Let's see what he wants to do. Okay, that'll work. So everything has to happen in poker because it's a math game. So if you have aces and you get it in pre against kings, well, you're roughly an 80-20 favorite. You're going to win roughly 80% of the time and lose 20% of the time. I think it might be like 82-18, but you know what I'm saying. It's you're massively ahead. But that doesn't mean you win every time. You have to lose 20% of the time. That's how math works out. And if you play a ton of poker, I mean, if you're online and you're putting in 500,000 hands a year, you're going to have to lose that 20% of the time. It's just how math works. So just understanding that, I think, helps with the tilt that, well, I got it in good, and just it is what it is. The result will be what the result will be. And just know that, okay, I got it in good, and 8 out of 10 times I pick up a stack. 2 out of 10 times I don't. That's pretty good math. I mean, you're printing money at that rate. Fold that. We got money burner in the big blind. Oh, we're not playing it. Okay. So that's another thing to help combat with it. Now, another form of emotional tilt is when you're playing live. We're going to fold that in the small blind. When you're playing live and you got a drunk guy that's just playing terrible, or you got just some donkey that really, he thinks he's good, he's really playing bad poker, and these guys are just cleaning up. And the table's getting frustrated. You're getting frustrated. It's like, really? We just keep losing stacks to this guy over and over again? And it happens. I mean, I've been on the wrong end of it. But that can put you on tilt because you see a person that's playing more poorly than the field generally does, and they're just cleaning up, especially, too, if you have a bad player who's running their mouth after picking up some nice pots, playing terribly, and they're talking about, well, I should probably head over to the 2-5, or where they're just gloating, and they think they're playing well, and they're not, and you know they're not, and so now it's getting under your skin. Okay, you got to let that stuff go. 4s in the small blind. Sometimes I don't even play the baby pairs in the small blind, but I will. Yeah, especially now I will. It's a no set, no bet. And we're done here, especially in a multi-way pot. Ace, Jack. I'll run all players here. This is our raise. We're going to fold to a 3-bet. Yeah, we got 5 still. Yeah, we're going to fold that. So that's another type of emotional tilt. Now another one, Ace-6. We're going to try to see this. 9, okay, we're going to check that. Out of position, or And no, I'm sorry. We're in position, and we got 2 to the straight, 2 to the flush, and 1 over. We'll peel 1. Yeah, I think we're done here. I don't see much sense in putting any more money. This is a button play. We're not calling a 3-bet. We're going to fold here. So the accumulation effect, what that is, that's a term I've come up with because I talk about it. I'm going to bet this because it's a paired board. I know they're aces. If he puts money in now, I'm done. He's a regular. If he puts any money into this pot, I'm done. This is the last money in pot, LMIP. 9-7, the small blind suited. I'd play that on the button or the cutoff. Button cutoff or big blind. I'm not playing it here. Okay, we won that one. So 8-2 off for folding. Accumulation effect is when you're having a session and you get cooler. A little bit later, you take a bad beat, but you're still doing okay. And then you get coolered again. Now it's starting to add up. So if these were just one-offs, it wouldn't bother you. But now it's the 3rd time. And now you get your money in again, good, and you lose again. Now that you've had 4 of these, now you're on tilt because you've accumulated a bunch of coolers and bad beats. And that can put you on tilt, and when you're on tilt, you're burning money. So how can you combat tilt? One way is to just quit, call it a day, or take a break, go get something to eat, or if you're online, just click out for 30 minutes, check in with yourself, wait till you're back good again, and get back at it. That's one way. The second way is just to realize and make peace with the fact that bad things will happen. It's just how it is. And we're going to call this, and just to make peace with yourself, that this is just how it works. Okay, we're going to peel 1 here. We got second pair, gut shot. We're not going anywhere just yet. Flush just got there. I mean, we could try bluffing at this, but if he liked that a lot. We're going to let it go. So that's one of the ways I really learned to deal with it is the more I wrapped my head around the fact that this stuff just has to happen, the better I got with it, to the point now where, I might complain a little bit right as the hand ends, but then I'm over it. Okay. Another one is to read books on it. Jared Tendler has The Mental Game of Poker. Elliot Rowe has A Game Poker. And Brian Conlon Jr. has The Poker Mind. This is a really loose button play here, 5-4 offsuit. Probably is actually a fold. We can't call a 3-bet, so we'll see what happens here. Okay, he let it go, so that's nice. I play a lot of hands on the button. I play very few hands in the small blind. And the big blind, I'm all over the place. I'll do a video on that. So, jacks, we're going to raise this up. Now, this is not a wild table. I'm going to struggle to call a large 3-bet with it. Normal 3-bet, we're going to call it. Well, he's got 66 bigs. Okay. So those are 3 books that you could look into. 5-6. If nobody's in, we're going to try it again over here. Again, we're folding to a 3-bet. It's a pretty speculative hand, to say the least. Okay, there's a pair, so we're going to bet it. Heads up in position, I bet paired boards. Now, if he donks into me, that's a different story. We have the open ender, so we're going to do it. If he calls, he probably has a couple face cards. So hopefully we can, if it goes over the top, we're dead. If he calls, he probably has a couple face cards. Okay, he let it go. And ace-6. This one, I just like to see a flop if I can. Queen-9, we're going to fold that. So that's 3 books there. Another one, which I haven't really done, but I know there's a lot of people that talk about it, and that's meditation and Queen-10, we'll call that in the big blind. Unsuited broadways, I'm not a real huge fan of, but if we can just see it for one bet, we'll see it. We're closing the action, as long as we're closing the action. So breathing and meditation. There's people that do various breathing exercises. They say it helps a lot. Okay, so we got top pair. This is a C-bet board. We're going to let him C-bet, and we're going to, okay, I was going to check raise. Now we're going to donk. We'll call this. We're in position. Oops, I didn't bet. It goes over the top. Okay, so we're going to play in flow. We have bottom pair, small blind versus big blind. That was a really terrible card that fills the flush, fills the straights. Let's just try to get this one to showdown. Ace-king, we're going to raise this up because we are in the small blind. Somebody 4 bets will call it. Well, there's a straight on the board. Now here's one where if he goes, I mean, we're chopping. I have a hard time calling a chop. Okay, so no, everybody fold it there. 2-8. Now I don't always 3-bet all the small blind. There are a number of hands I will just call. But I won't get into that. I do have a small blind video out. King, queen, offsuit. This is a 3-bet for me because it's not suited. So we're going to raise it. We're in position. We'll call a non-ridiculous 3-bet. Could probably justify folding to a 3-bet, but we got the button. He is a regular, so if he 3-bets, he's going to 3-bet big. Yeah. I mean, if he would have went like 7 or 6. This is a... Well, we got to get out of this table. Let's call it, and then we're going to sit out. That's a favorable flop. Well, I shouldn't keep saying that. Andrew Nemi, if this channel ever explodes, he's going to be like, hey, you're stealing my thunder, brother. We're going to check raise the turn. Yes, we are. So he's going to bet, and we're going to... Or not check raise. We're in position. We're going to raise the turn. It's a little big. And we're never folding at this point. We got aces up. Top 2. Okay. Well, we're going to have to get out of this and find another table. This table's dying. All right, no, this one's just as dead. Just as dead. All right, we're on a wait list. We'll have to see if something pops up. Again, it's early in the morning. There's just not a lot of tables going. So we got to do what we got to do. And then the other thing, which is similar to the second one I said, but this comes from Jonathan Little from pokercoaching.com. And he talks about accepting reality. You're going to take bad beats in coolers. The math is the math. The sooner that you just accept reality, the sooner you can start not playing tilted. Again, that really does tie into the first one, but I think there's a little bit of a differential there. So that's pretty much what I have for this episode of Tilt. Probably do another one kind of getting into some of the other forms of tilt. We'll see. At this point, if you could hit the subscribe button, the like button, and definitely leave a comment. Definitely like to see the comment section grow. We can talk some subjects. King 3 suited in the small blind. That's going to be a fold. Now, before I got my tilt under control, I used to run into demolition tilt where I would take a couple of bad beats and then I'm just firing it in. This is a raise, and we're going to call a 3-bet because we have the button. Yeah, we'll call this one. We could actually go over the top of them. Let's just call it. All right, well, he's got his ace. We've got a pair. We got to call at least one. Because we can't go around folding pairs, especially when we can get some help on the turn. Okay, that's a brick. He has an ace. If he fires again, he has an ace. We're just dead. There's 32 in the pot. He's going to have to bet pretty small for us to continue. Because all we have is 5 outs. 10% chance. 22 bigs for 10% chance. No way. He's priced us out. It's a smart bet on his part. We weren't getting laid the proper odds to continue. Ace Queen. We are going to raise this. And again, he's out of position. Now, if he keeps 3-betting us, here's where in my seat table selection video, I would recommend moving. If you got somebody on your direct left in those two spots that keeps 3-betting, find another table. It's hard to battle somebody on your left. The fact that they have position on you is just brutal. But back when I was having trouble with tilt, I could have a couple winning sessions, then have a bad session, and just tilt off twice as much as what my previous 2 winning sessions were. Just terrible. And that's why tilt is the ultimate money burner. All right, we might play this in the big. Oh, boy, this is loose. Really should fold this. Yep, thank you. He went 14, so I made my decision a lot easier. Okay. So I can set some links down for the seat. 7-3, we're going to fold that. In the small blind, we'd fold that anywhere. All right, well, not a lot of action going today. But it's very early in the morning, so it's a little tough. And any way that I've played my hands, if you disagree, put something in the comments. Or if you kind of agree but think I'm missing a little nuance, again, something in the comments. It'd be nice to have the comment section get some smart discussion in it. Oh, man. Well, it would have been nice to play. Maybe I'll do a video on aces and why I play my aces the way I do. That should stir the pot. Oh, there we go. We got another table. So we'll play that. Because I know, especially live, it's a lot of monkey see, monkey do. There's not a lot of the players. I don't think a lot of the live players have ever read a poker book or signed up to a training site. I think it's just they like to gamble and they like poker. We'll raise this up. We'll call a 3-bet out of the blinds if it's not ridiculous. So when they're playing monkey see, monkey do poker or learn by just following everybody else queens, it's a playable. If somebody, okay, no, never mind. Somebody 3-bets, we're just going to call it and see if we can avoid an ace or a king. Queen 10, not a favorite hand to play in the big blind, unsuited Broadway, but we'll play it. So playing live, most of these players will never fold an ace pre-flop. I shouldn't say never. Rarely fold. I mean, if they look down at ace-6 offsuit, I mean, they're thrilled. They got an ace. We'll let this go. We don't have anything going. And not understanding that they don't have a kicker. You can't make the flush with it. But if they get top pair, I mean, it's time to rock and roll, which is great when you're playing against them, and you realize this because they overestimate the strength of their hand. Yeah, top pair wins a lot in Hold'em. I get it. But as soon as you can beat that ace, your value is getting paid. Unless it's a 4 to the straight, 4 to the flush. Really, they might not even notice the 4 to the straight. Well, we're folding to a 3-bet with this. This was a really questionable raise first in. And that's the other thing, too, is I'm a little inconsistent with my play. That's probably the hallmark of a recreational player, which I am. Queen 4. And I can leave a link to that on being a recreational player and having a YouTube and talking about hands. And I'll leave a link to that video as well down in the description. Because I'm not dispensing advice. I'm giving my thought process as we're playing hands. And I'm hoping that we can get some good discussion in the comment section as a learning tool. I think the more we talk about poker, think about poker, and go through these different hands, this I will call in the big blind King 6 of diamonds. It's a suited king. Ace 5, we're going to try to see a flop with that. I know GTO we're supposed to ram and jam, and that's our 4-bet bluffs. I'm not 4-bet bluffing with ace 5. Not with a normal table. There's no way. We're going to fold there. All right. Well, maybe we can get something cooking here. 10-2. It's a little too loose. Even I know it's suited, but with the 10 being the higher of the cards suited, I kind of like that one to be at least straightable, bare minimum. Jack 9 in the big blind. We'll try to see one with that. Again, not real big fan of the unsuited hands like that. 7-4. I'd probably play this on the button. 20 bigs, really? Wow. Okay. You can have the little bit of big blind money there, sir. Way to play your aces. Well, I guess you can say, hey, I never lose with my aces if I just cold 20 big blind rip. He's doing it. Okay. So is he on tilt? Is he getting ready to leave? This is unusual. That's 20 big blinds twice. So we're just going to stop playing with this guy unless we really catch it, because this might be tilt right here. Is all of a sudden, now I've been running my mouth and not paying attention, which is not a good way to play poker, but that's twice now he's gone 20. So I don't know if he just lost a big pot and rebought. He may have lost down here. I don't know. Who knows? But he's laughing. I mean, whatever, dude. Okay, he was getting ready to leave. So he's just, yeah. That's another one, too, I've noticed online. We're going to call this, you could argue it's a fold, or 3-bet or a fold. But I am going to call it because it's the button. We're a little early on this. I'd play this on the button. All right, he's the pre-flop aggressor. I am in position. If he checks, I am going to bet it. It will be an LMIP. Yep. I tend to want to bet paired boards in position. If he calls, hopefully we can hit something. But this is we're done. If he goes over the top, we're folding. Last money in pot, LMIP. That means last money in pot unless we improve. That we're not putting any more money in unless we catch a jack or king. 9-10 of hearts in the cutoff. You can argue that this is either a 3-bet. You could call it. I would lean more towards. I tend to 3-bet a lot out of the cutoff because I want to get the button to not play. Having position just matters, and that's why I'm all over the place on the big blind, playing hands that I shouldn't out of the big too often because you're out of position. But yet I say that, and yet I play a bunch of nonsense there. Very inconsistent. And I'm sure that's a leak. My big blind play has got to be a leak. All right, well, that's pretty much our time. So I think we'll call it right about there. Thank you. That was 30 minutes of poker. I'm Brad for Bonesaw Poker. Thanks for watching. And remember, everything you want is on the other side of fear.